Hey guys, West Coast Taco here, and welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today, guys, I have another accessory or mod that I would highly recommend. Probably actually one of the #1 things I'm going to recommend to keeping your vehicle or your Tacoma at all times. This is part of the Everyday Carry series, guys. Let's dive into this. Let's get into it. Let's give this product a review. Let's see how good it is and see if it actually works as well as I hope it does. So right now, guys, you might be looking at this jump start and thinking to yourself, do I really need this? Well, guys, for those of you who are old school and you guys keep jumper cables in the back of your vehicle or truck, I do, and I think you should keep a pair of jumper cables in your vehicle regardless. But here's the problem with jumper cables, guys. They require you to have another vehicle there to give you a jump. So right off the bat, you're already being dependent upon something else, and the situation has to be somewhat optimal. You know, if you are stuck in a parking spot and you have someone to the left and to the right and in front of you, well, now you have to wait for either one of those people to move or come out of the store, wherever you're at, to give you a jump. Number 2, another problem with jumper cables is that there's a lot of room for error. I've heard and read so many stories about people frying their electronic control systems or unit when, doing this because it was not done correctly by either the donor vehicle or the vehicle that is in need of help. Guys, a lot of things can go wrong there. The great thing about this jump starter is that it will not provide a surge. It will not provide the charge for the battery until everything has been hooked up properly and correctly and it's safe and ready to go. And number 3, one thing I want you guys to think about is that, remember, just because you know how to use jumper cables or just because you know how to use the jump starter doesn't mean your loved ones do. So if you have not taught your wife, your girlfriend, your daughter, your son, maybe your husband, if you guys don't know how to properly, charge a battery, how to jump a battery, in a state when it's dead, guys, you guys need to know how to do this. This is really basic stuff. And honestly, for you guys like to go camping, overlanding, or just around town in general, you never know when a dead battery is going to plague you, when you're going to run into that issue. And like I said, batteries never die at an optimal time. You need to be ready. You need to be prepared. If you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. And number 4, guys, the jump starter, guys, does so much more than just jumper cables. It does so much more than just jump a vehicle. It's got charging ports for your phones, laptops, iPads. It's got a DC output for other equipment you might need to use. It also, guys, has the ability to be recharged with just a USB charging station. So there are so many more things to this that are beneficial than just carrying jumper cables. Whether you guys like overlanding, camping, just everyday life, you never know when you're going to run into somebody that has a dead battery. You never know when you're going to be the one that's a dead battery. And how much more convenient is it for you just to go into the back of your car, grab the jump starter, pop it onto your battery, fire it up real quick and be on your way than having to wait for somebody, stop somebody, ask for help, get the cars arranged, and do all of this stuff. Guys, this is such a must-have in my opinion. And if you don't have one in your vehicle, then I think you should really reconsider, the setup you're running, because it's something so simple and so small that will make such a big difference in a time of when it's needed. All right, guys, let's get further into this review and see how this thing works. So right off the bat, at the very front of this jump starter, you have 2 USB charging ports. One, which is a quick charge, which is really convenient. I believe it can charge your phone within up to 80% in 35 minutes, which is awesome. Then for the DC output, you have a max of 16.8 volts or 10 amps, which you can use to power any other equipment you need to use. For the actual charging port for the jump starter itself, it requires a C input, which it does come with a charging cable, so they've got you covered there. For the light, you need to hold down the power button for a few seconds, and you get this constant LED stream of light. Hit it again, you're going to get a strobe or an SOS setting. Hit it again, and it'll turn it off. One of the things I love the most about this jump starter, guys, is that it literally fits in the palm of my hand, which is great. It's not big and bulky and annoying like so many others are where you're trying to find a place to put it. It also comes with a very simple and easy to use instruction manual. This thing is max 6 pages long, and the booklet itself is very small and compact. It's perfect if you have a son or daughter that you just sent off to college, or maybe they're starting to drive and you're worried that after you taught them how to use this, they might forget on how to actually use it when it's needed. This is a great refresher tool to keep with it. All right, so this is how it works. You're going to take each clamp and put it on its respective terminal post. So red positive on the positive post, black negative on the negative post. When the jump starter is ready to go, you're going to get the green light. If for some reason you get your wires crossed, it's going to be a red reverse light right behind the green light showing that it's not ready. Fix your wires. When it says green, you're good to crank up the engine. If for some reason it doesn't go and your battery is very dead and it's beyond the point where it's not cranking, hit the boost button. The boost button will give you an extra surge of power. When the green light comes back on, you're ready to go. Press the start button or give it a crank. It should fire right up and you'll be on your way. So I'm on my way home from the gym and I just passed this vehicle in a parking lot that has its hood open and jumper cables hanging out the side. So I just busted a quick U-turn. I'm going to get out, see if this guy needs some help, and hopefully give you guys a really good review of this jump starter in action. All right, so try and give it a start.
It might take a minute.
Look at that.
I mean, it was almost completely.
Fantastic. Sweet.
Yeah, when it's that low and somebody comes to try and jump me, we usually have to wait.
Now for me guys personally, there's a perfect little storage space under the back seat behind the driver's side. The TOPDON jump starter fits in there perfectly, and it's right next to where my jack is. This is where I'm going to keep all of my stuff for, roadside assistance, anything that would be needed to help get my vehicle up and running, or somebody else who's in need of help as well. Close it up, lock it, put the seats back down, and you're good to go. So final takeaway points on this jump starter. In my opinion, guys, this is a must-have for every vehicle. I understand that everyone comes from a different walk of life. Some people live in the country where there's nobody around them. Other people live in the city where there's just a ton of people around them. Regardless of where you are, guys, the biggest problem I have with jumper cables is that it puts you in a position of needing further help. And guys, today, society is crazy. People are nuts. The last thing I would want for myself or for my loved ones is to be in a situation where their vehicle is kind of stranded already. They're already in a very vulnerable position, and now they have to go and approach a complete and total stranger for help. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows how much more worse the scenario could get? So guys, be ready, be prepared. Have your family be ready. Have your family be prepared. Put one of these in each of your vehicles. This is one of the few items I'm actually going to push, just because no matter where you live, no matter where you're from, this is such a practical and just a safe and awesome thing to have, to be there for you when you need it, because we all know that dead batteries never come at opportune times. It's always better to be proactive and to be ready and be prepared, so when the situation arises, you can respond accordingly. All right, guys, well, that's it for this video. Once again, there is going to be a link and discount code in the description. If you guys have any questions, throw it in the comments section, guys. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'll be talking to you soon. See ya.